Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm David Steele, and here's me truck. Let's jump into before I make too big of a mess of this. Right, well, we're back in Red Thunder today. I would say it's been a while, but I've actually done quite a few miles in Red Thunder recently. I haven't put them on the channel. And we're going to be hauling some raw milk today. And this is the kind of job that is potentially drying up a little bit. Without getting too much into the details, the long and short are the Feed the America and the federal funding freeze really hurt farmers. But let's not worry about this today. Let's go ahead and attempt to load up without covering ourselves in spilled milk. This could be a challenge. Talk a little bit about what we're doing in the truck. So yes, as you can see, we're back in Red Thunder, but if you've not seen a video recently, you might be forgiven for thinking that's an unusual shaped W900, and it is because this is the new chassis that's added very recently with the Kenworth K100. Is it Legacy? Good grief, it has escaped me. Well, the long and short are the Kenworth accessory pack got some updates, the W900 got some updates, and we're using them. So Red Thunder has a couple of small tweaks. I'm making a right bit of a mess of this to how she looks. Just tiny little things like the sunshade is now red as opposed to silver. Slightly different exhausts, just because. And it would seem the same numpty at the wheel. Will this not do? Oh boy, I may have to edit this out. This my reversing light works well. So under the hood we have a 2012 vintage Paccar MX-13. This is the 500 horsepower version. Let's go ahead and try and line that up. I mean that's almost lined up. I know what. It's lined up enough. Let's go ahead and shut it down and we'll get the milk loaded. Okay. Not take long to get the milk in. Right, and the good news is it's put down the axles, I believe. Thanks, Doug. Okay, let's jump back in. I can't maneuver very effectively in third-person view, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Right, now I also don't recall the wiper blades looking like this. I thought that they were on the bottom of the windshield, but I could be wrong. I mean, I frequently am. So, as well as the MX-13 500, today we're running an 18-speed. We're actually running a stock 18-speed, which in the game is an UltraShift, so it shifts gear for you. So we're running it in automated mode today. A 325 final drive, and it seems fairly well suited to the MX-13. I've always thought it's worked pretty good. 75 miles an hour means about 1500 revs, which seems to be about right. And the 2012 version, so it's not the standard MX-13 that comes with the game. This engine is available from the Steel Productions engine pack, and yes, this is a shameless plug. And so it has a slightly different torque curve to the later one. That truck just materialized out of thin air. There's a car behind it, but I think we can make it. That might have been a mistake, but let's go. Oh, there's plenty of space. See. Cargo today is about 42,000 pounds of raw milk, plus of course the trailer. But the 500 horsepower MX-13 is more than up to the task of doing this. So I'm not going to have any concerns there over how performant it's going to be. I think perhaps more concern is how well the UltraShift's going to work. So going back to what I was saying, the MX-13, the 2012 version, has a slightly different torque curve and shift pattern to the later model. And it's 500 horsepower, not 510, which is what the later model produces. Let's go ahead and just tap up to 65. like so. So it's down on power just a little bit. And it does produce its peak torque. Well, the 500, 510 versions are a little different to the rest of them. But it produces its peak torque, I believe, if memory serves me correctly, at 1100 RPM, as opposed to the 1000 for the later 510 version. Although again, that might be 1100. The memory is a little hazy at this point. But the rest of the range produced peak torque from 900 revs. Now, that's not to say that this engine is particularly peaky. In fact, it really has that wonderful flat torque curve that the MX-13, one of the reasons why I quite like the engine. I've read about it being considered gutless, and it's been considered gutless from what I saw by an American trucker who I think thought because it was only a 13 litre, it clearly wouldn't be up to the task of whatever a 15 litre engine would be up designed for. And it's true. The MX-13 at least is not as powerful as some of the 15 litre. That is beautiful, that sunrise. Yeah, that's beautiful. So yes, it's not as powerful as some of the, my engine brake here. I did not want to fall off the road. Okay, I kept it in check with a bit of engine brake there. Excuse me. Take a sip of water, I think. Pretty cool lightning effect as well. Get off the side of the road, David. Okay. Yeah, so not as muscular as some of the 15 litres. And, I mean, the logical engine you might think of would be an ISX-15, or maybe an ISX, or maybe a Caterpillar C15 or a C-15, or maybe even the newest, the X15s, get off the middle of the road. There we go. But 500 horsepower, 50 foot-pounds of torque, it has got plenty for heavy line hauling. I dare say my gross for this trip is probably £75,000, maybe a little more. We might get to find out later. But I mean, really, what do you want from your line haul truck? Do you want it to struggle up hills? Because this isn't really struggling up hills. Yes, we lost a few miles an hour. I'm actually going to tap down to 60. I don't want to exceed the speed. My driving is way worse than this thing's acceleration running around up hills. Grief. Do I have an affinity for finding the rumble strips today? Or is it just how I normally drive? So, it's very capable of bobbing up and down hills. I think Paccar have advertised the 500, 510 version as suitable for heavy haul. I mean, okay. I'm going to cut my speed by 10 miles an hour and a bit of engine brake here. I'm overhauling whatever this traffic is in front of me, and I don't really want to climb all over their rear bumpers. I'm actually going to kill the cruise now. Yep, an engine brake, get off the side of the road. 37th time. Manually shift down. Now, we might not want to be manually shifting down too much with the engine brake on, because they've got a chance of locking the powered axles. But as you've seen, I do struggle with my braking sometimes. I mean, by sometimes, like, a lot of the time. But in terms of acceleration and how this thing goes, yeah, this kind of car goes completely fine. I am pretty certain that there are times when you can absolutely justify a 600, 605 horsepower engine, or maybe even the X15 productivity with 565 horsepower and 20-50 foot-pounds of torque. But most of the time, you just really don't need it. Just as I don't really need the full-height sleeper with this kind of cargo, I just need to cover the trailer. I also need to stay in my lane. I'm feathering the throttle here. I'm only getting up to 30, but I'm in no hurry. We're about to turn right up here. Let me see. Oh, I got loads of time to get there. I've got 10.5 hours. It's 3.5 hours of drive, so I could stop, almost take a end of my shift nap, and still have time to get to my delivery. Almost, not quite. Let's get back on the power though. Given the weather's pretty bad, I might consider slowing down, but the limit's 75, and I think other traffic will probably not be doing 55. Well, we'll see though. So you see there how it's using a few more revs as we climb up that hill, but it's still climbing really effectively. Go ahead and merge. Yeah, just I mean no issues, and I don't expect a semi to be, well, this side of a 3406X. This I don't expect it to be up to 75 already. I'm very happy with it taking its time. The weather might be improving. We're heading right into the bright light. Let's put my cruise at 65. Oh, sorry, pickup truck. See how well it goes. It looks like we might be going up a very slight gradient, but maybe from the speedometer change as well. I'm sure we are now. Okay. We definitely were. We can almost feel the engine sort of just take a breath as it reaches the top. So there you can see we've got the legacy exhaust shield on there. Kenworth, 60 years or so, 62 years now. Since 1963. I still enjoy this camera angle. It's 7 on the keyboard, not the keypad on the keyboard if you ever want to use the wheel cam. And there's 1 to get you right back into the driver's seat. So, yeah, really motoring along. So, economy so far, it's showing 6.5 on my trip computer, but bear in mind that I have reset this the last time I filled, and this is not the first run on this tank. So, typically 6 to 7 seems to be the order of the day, depending obviously on, okay, get in your lane, depending on what you're carrying and the trip that you're doing. But sticking to 65 as I'm doing today, yeah, we should be able to get 6, maybe a little higher, depending on the road. If I don't pay attention, it'll be towards the low side. If I do pay attention, it'll be towards the high side. So, yeah. Here. This RV is slowing me down. This storm is, I thought it was getting better, but it's not. As you can tell from my accent, these dulcet tones, I live in Texas. And in Texas, we occasionally, at least northern Texas, we occasionally get days when the forecast says it's going to rain all day. Expect a couple inches. Now, I'm pretty sure, in fact I know, that there are parts of the States where couple of inches a day is kind of as it comes, just like I might say 109 degrees Fahrenheit is a good summer's day. We had one of those days last week. I can pretty much hear the grass growing. That's always joyful. Need to get some Rain-X on this windscreen, or windshield if you want to think of it in American terms. Kind of a gloomy day to be experiencing the W900, but hey, I don't mind that. Nice and dry in the cabin. Be nice if it stops raining, but I'm okay if it doesn't. See what else here. We've covered 600 miles on this tank so far. average 47 miles an hour. We've got 191 gallons left. 64% fuel. My oil is only 202 Fahrenheit. We're not working this thing particularly hard. If you run an engine hard in ATS or in ETS, you can see those oil temperatures climb a lot. Now, how do you run an engine hard? Well, that generally means you need to use more power. And that typically means running the engine at a higher engine speed. I think higher engine speed also contributes towards oil temperature too. So, running at a higher weight, at a higher speed, at a higher revs gives you higher temperature. Now, with an engine in good health, according to the stats in the game, I've seen 210, 211, possibly 212 Fahrenheit. And this your engine gets a bit of wear, a bit of damage, that temperature will slowly increase over like-for-like circumstances. Now, I dare say if I were doing 75 with this load on this road, I might see my temperature quite a bit higher, but I have no need to be hurrying around. In fact, if I could, like I say, I could take a nap here, have a nice cup of tea, and a bagel, or something, crumpet, and still make plenty of time. But they changed, SES being they changed the temperature display for oil some time ago now. I think it was couple of major updates, they adjusted this, which makes me think that perhaps they were bringing more weather along. And we've also seen a change in the reported temperature of the weather too. So there's definitely been some tweaks that they not really talked about in the blog. At least I haven't seen them, and I haven't seen them talk about it in the live stream. So I'm imagining maybe whether they're bringing that into the... I don't know. Now you can see the reported temperature right now, according to the game. It's showing as 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is in the bottom of the tachometer and your rev counter. For the number of hours, 40,605 hours of engine time. Quite a few. I might have driven this truck a distance, and now just below it, it's just ticked up. The temperature is reported at 73 Fahrenheit. So to us Brits, quite a pleasant temperature. That's in the low 20s of Celsius. Yeah, I'd be quite happy with that. And the rain likely won't be cold. Now, just for the sake of it, on the right-hand side, under the speedometer, you've got the number of miles covered. So, yes, that's 1.64 million. And underneath that is the distance covered on this tank since the last reset. The last trip computer reset, I ought to say. Just double check that, verify. Yeah, there you go. 670 miles, the trip distance. 100 gallons and 673. Yay, the storm is easing up. So I could very happily tap up my speed. Kind of tempted to, but I've only got 47 minutes left in this trip. So this dashboard display right now, you can switch between your dashboard computer using the I key, or you can map it to a button on your controller if you like. We've got cruise control setting 65, current speed 65. We've got if the lights are on, we've got we have the gear lever, and then in the middle you've got the time, so it's 10:04 hours, or just after 10 o'clock in the morning. And then bottom left, the 0039 is 39 minutes of driving time to get to my destination. And opposite that on the other side is the 9 hours and 5. That's how long I've got to do it, 9 and 3 now. That's how long I've got to... Oh, it's my next rest stop, my bad. So that's when I have to take a break. And finally, a little E. Now as I recall, that means we're heading east. But you know what? I don't think... Yeah, I think it's east in this one. On some machines, it's the economy setting. It can show whether you're in economy or performance, or I think it's balanced is the middle one. But pretty sure that here we are heading east. If I don't forget and get sidetracked with everything else going on, we'll be able to see that. Now, is that thunder still taking place in the game despite the rain having stopped? Was it because I'm in Red Thunder? No, I don't know. That is Thunder. Well,
Keep right, then exit right.
I mean, it happens. If we're the forefront of the storm,
Exit right.
we can go ahead and progressively downshift it. We're going to help out the transmission by downshifting. The 2012 version of the engine does have a higher tolerance for downshiffting when you go through the gears. That my speed down to 25 miles an hour. I think I want to use the right-hand lane here. It says yield, so we're all good. Turn in here. Almost misjudged that. Now, ideally, I want to be in the left-hand lane here.
Turn right.
But yeah, this Mustang's not going to let me out of it. And he's also coming the same way, I think. We'll let this blue Kenworth. Oh, okay, come on, guys. It's getting silly. Okay. Go ahead and turn in here. Bit of a stutter from the game there. It happens from time to time, and giving my machine a reboot is a big help. But I don't notice it that much. It's worse when I record the game, as you probably expect. There's a bit more load on the machine, but I'm not too bothered about that. So stationary and idling, my oil temperature is going to drop. Let's take a look. 200 degrees. Yeah, what was it? 203, 204 when we were cruising at 65. Let's go ahead and 199 now. We can't see transmission temperature on our computer in the middle, but I think the Kenworth can show us that, or one of the gauges does. I may be completely wrong here. Who's to say? It takes me a while to get used to the length of the longer trucks, and the W900 is definitely on the longer side. Even this slightly shorter chassis version, she's still pretty long. But I love the look of the... Oh my gosh, don't be so dramatic, SUP. I like the look of the low roof sleeper with the tanker. You don't need the full height. You may as well not bother with it. Be a little lighter. Okay. We didn't get stopped to see how much we weigh, which... a little disappointing at that, but alright. Okay, let's try my finest accent. Let's get my fake white teeth on. Howdy! Yeah, okay. Never mind. Smile for the camera. Right. It's through the barrier. I will go ahead and open both windows because the noise gets a little balanced, and I wonder where Flavor Fair like this cargo. A little abrupt with my brakes there. That doesn't look too difficult. That looks even easier. I'm going to go ahead and try and back it into the spot here. Let's put myself under a bit of pressure here. I don't do this often enough. I'd love to do it from the external view, from the internal view even, but I'm not. I'm going to do it, well, I mean, it doesn't seem that difficult from doing it inside the cabin. And I don't really think I want to trust myself. My visibility is just not great. Let's look out here. Let's take a look. Okay. Well, in theory, I'll try it. I'll use the 5 view. That's the looking out the window. And the reality is, of course, you'd be maneuvering around an awful lot just to see what's around you. But I might be able to. I might have just got this just about where I need it to be. Maybe. Get another lock. Oh, I don't know. That's not bad. Not bad, David. All things considered. Let's take a lean out the window look. Okay. Gone a little bit too far. But I think I can correct it. Can I correct it? I don't know. Let's take another look, shall we? Okay, I don't like this. I'm going to pull forward. So if I've got this right, I should be able to back out. Nice and slow, nice and straight. I mean, it looks nearly centered. Which, clearly, I need to wiggle it, because I can't possibly be getting it perfect like this. That was not be right. Yeah, so a little bit of right hand down. If I get that right. Maybe. A bit more right hand out, straighten things up. I'm a little bit to the left of the spot, but I think it's okay. Hey, look at that. Try and straighten things up. There we go. And I want to just move it forward just a smidgen. Alright. I think we're actually there. Okay, well let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's see how well we did. So, 295 miles, effectively 300 miles, and 46 gallons on the nose. That's about 6.5 miles per gallon. Slightly less than 6.5, but yeah, I'm very happy with that. That's right on the money with where I hoped it would be. And there you have it. So a new body shape, managed to take some raw milk, a very pleasant experience, no qualms whatsoever about the MX-13. And if you have an opinion on whether this truck really deserves a 15-litre engine or a 13-litre, and I really can see the merit in having 15 litres. I mean, if you're going to buy a flagship, sure. But if it's a business tool and you can get good enough performance from a smaller engine, why not? Why not indeed? Now, there are other reasons why you might go for the Cummins 15-litre. You can service them at a Cummins dealership or anywhere that sells Cummins parts, and that's a pretty big factor. Paccar engines, you got to go to Paccar. Anyway, hopefully you like what you saw, and if you have, go ahead and leave a comment, leave some feedback. If you thought it sucks, you can do the same. I'll see you the next time. Thanks so much, everyone. Goodbye.